I'm a progressive. No question about it. The first thing that has to happen in this election is we have to decide what it is we're trying to change. So when you think about what is a presidential election, it's really largely about determining the subject for the next 4 years. And so the first thing that has to happen in term limits is for Americans to agree this government's broken, and before we get any of the progressive policies that we all want, we're going to have to take it back from the corporations. That's step one. Step two, ultimately, is we're going to have to push through things that do require some form of strong public support, like term limits. 12 years for congresspeople and senators. If you want to get bold change, you need new people in charge. I want structural change. Nobody else in this race will even talk about term limits or a national referendum, letting people make our own laws. Why shouldn't we? It's like Congress has totally failed. That's the alternative. We have a broken government that's not serving the American people. If you travel around this country, which I've been doing full-time for 7 years, you can see that these Republican policies are cruel. They are doing things like denying health care to sick people, cheating kids out of a decent education, making people work under unsafe conditions for too low wages, and allowing corporations to poison people in the air they breathe and the water they drink. This is going to be a generational change election. The way that we'll know that is the turnout is going to be the highest in anybody's experience. I think that we're going to turn the page on basically the failed Republican revolution started by Ronald Reagan 40 years ago. And what is that going to look like? It's going to look like everything that he said we're going to flip on its head. You know, the idea of trickle-down economics didn't work. The attack on working people and unions, got to turn it around. The way the money's been distributed overwhelmingly to the richest people and the biggest corporations, that's completely inequitable and unjust. So we're going to have to really take back the country from the corporations who've bought the government, and then we're going to have a government that serves the American people again. If you're a Democrat, you have to have someone on the stage who can beat Donald Trump. And we know what Donald Trump's going to run on. He's going to run on his economic record. And I spent 30 years building a business from scratch. He's a fake. He's a failed business person. He's a fake president. And I can go on the stage and take him down on that.